So very good evening, friends. This is Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, hello. Let the people join and then we start. Yeah, hello, sir. Yeah, hello. So today I am not going to be giving my view on the economy. I would be taking your questions directly. We have around 10-15 minutes to take your questions. Please start asking your questions. That is. Please start asking your questions. Yeah, hello, sir. Before you start asking any question, let me remind you that our TRFX Academy is on the verge of clock crossing 50 videos. Probably in another two days, 50 exclusive videos. Well, about ONGC, I'm not very optimistic about oil and gas sector. The reason is that today Merck, which is amongst the largest pharmaceutical company in the globe, they decided to stop the development of the COVID-19 vaccine, and there is another article on the Bloomberg which does suggest that even after a huge quantity of the vaccinations which are happening across almost all many countries, still unfortunately the deaths and the new infections are not stopping. I'm not very much bullish on the oil and gas sector, at least now, to be honest. Maybe our beloved Hindi media is bullish, but at least I am not bullish, to be very honest. Well, IRCTC IPO option, I'm not against it, because the fact is that the government is looking to have maximum IPOs of the government companies, to be honest. And in this budget, I have already shot a video. In this budget, my prime target is the disinvestment. Like I'm not sure whether the government would be giving the names of the institutions they would like to disinvest, and I'm seriously looking for the names, but we need to understand the hints to be given by the Madam Finance Minister. But IRCTC IPO, IRFC IPO, or maybe Railtel IPO is in that direction, which means that government is looking to quit as early as possible. Let the investors and maybe the institutional investors manage that company, to be honest. I don't know why people are worried about Bicon, because Bicon is falling because of their poor results. Apart from that, I do not see there is any other reason why Bicon is actually falling. It is because of their poor result. It happens. Sometimes you have good results, sometimes you have bad result. It's a part of business. It really happens. But Bicon, to me, is a strong company. I don't think we need to underestimate Bicon. Yes Bank is doing very good. I think on the cost cutting front, Yes Bank doing good. In terms of non-performing asset, Yes Bank doing good. In terms of results, Yes Bank doing good. But having said that, the road ahead is little tough. Number one is that the market can collapse at any given point of time. The point is very clear, because we understand that the foreign institutional investors are selling. In fact, in the last session they sold, today's session they sold, tomorrow is chutti. We really don't know whether they would be selling again or not in the other Asian markets, but they are on the verge of selling. And domestic institutional investors are selling since long, to be honest. So that's how it is. I think Yes Bank doing wonderful, but once again the road ahead is you know is really tough. Well, I don't know what kind of calls you are getting on crypto, and but I have made myself very clear several times that in crypto one needs to understand the crypto market very well before entering into it. And I don't think that people would be able to understand. People have no knowledge about crypto and people just wanted to enter into that is. I'm not sure about correction. I don't think that correction is the right word. The right word is the mess. As we speak, around very close to 100 million figure of the total infected cases across the globe. What is happening in the United States, we all understand. Biden made himself very clear from the very first day that the worst is yet to come. It is very easy for US to say that they will get $1.9 trillion, but from where they will get $1.9 trillion, that is also a big question. You know, I don't think that we should use a word correction. Rather, we should use a word mess, because mess is really on the cards. And maybe, I don't know, there is a huge quantity of the mess might be on the cards, to be honest. Majesco declared a huge dividend, and that is definitely a surprising element for many. And after that, Majesco is currently under the upper circuit. But if you take my opinion, I am not going to be buying Majesco. Sorry, because it is not Majesco. Rather, I am not going to be buying any IT stock, because sooner Biden administration need to take up a tough call. And what is that tough call is whether they would be giving more visas to the Indian or not. If they would be giving the visas, they are in trouble. If they are not giving the visas, they are in trouble. So as simple as that, I am not going to be taking any position in any IT stock. For me, Majesco is no different. Whether it is, and in fact, in the last two sessions, to be honest, we are clearly able to see that the hype which was created by the media in the IT stocks is slowly relieving. Example, before coronavirus, a lot of hype created, and now where is that hype? We all understand. Sooner or later, the hype around the IT sector will also go. As simple as that. At least I'm not going to be buying the IT sector, to be very honest. Let it be straight and stuff. I don't know how should I answer Jet Airways, but let it be honest that I'm not bullish on aviation stocks. To me, the worst is not yet over. Rather, the worst is yet to start. And I don't think that it is the right time to enter into the aviation stock. Yes, I understand that Indian media is a great media, no doubt about that, and they know how to create the hype, and Indian retail investors really do not understand anything. And this is the reason they get trapped into this hype. But my personal opinion is that there's no point entering into aviation stock. I don't know about Tata Power, but I think that Tata Power and Adani Power both are in the same boat. I did the analysis of the Adani and the Tata Power in detail, their balance sheet from Thomson Reuters, and unfortunately, one which is Adani Power is having own issue, while Tata Power having their own issue. In either of the case, the basic issue is the debt. Apart from that, both are having their own issues, to be honest. And more importantly, I understand that power sector is never be a sector which is very profitable in India. Rather, it's a completely loss making business. We all understand that. From 2020, government tried very hard to do the power reforms, but unfortunately failed almost every given point of time, to be honest. I don't think, but yes, if somebody asks me to choose between Adani and Tata Power, I will go with Tata Power than going with Adani Power. This is my personal opinion, but having said that, at current level of buying in Tata Power, I don't think it's a right strategy. We really need to wait and watch. Let it fall and then we should enter. About gold and silver, and I think that gold is really very volatile, and to be honest, gold is range bound. And more importantly, as I told on the very first day, in 2021 that gold will be facing a lot of issues very soon. I'm telling you, a lot of issues are there, and even after 1.9 trillion dollar of stimulus package, of course, from where the money will come, that's a separate question. The gold has not fallen, so both gold and silver will continue to be highly volatile. To be honest, I'm sorry, sir. We're not tracking Delta Corporation. I'm sorry for that. So we have no comment on the Delta Corporation. To be honest. About index funds, there are thousands of index funds we are having, and majority of them are in loss. I don't know how to answer this question, which is Indigo Paint listing or IRFC. Well, I have personally invested in IRFC IPO, and as I said that I'm 99% sure that I will not get that. Maybe 1% if I get it. I'm not sure about it. I have already shot a video on my YouTube channel about the gray market. In India, gray market is a supermarket. Basically, in India, gray market is a kind of market whereby they just create a hype and retail investor just move next to that. I have no comments on Indigo Paints, but having said that, I am bullish on IRFC and the upcoming Railtel. But having said that, I really don't know when the Railtel IPO will come. But as and when it will come, I will seriously see to invest in that. But having said that, only 35% of the portion of the IPO is allocated to the retail investor. So getting a chance of allotment in 35% is really, really tough. And especially when book building, I understand how book building is done, to be honest. Yeah. Any other question? Any other question? I don't know. I cannot comment whether at what rate you have taken 24, at what rate you wanted to sell until I see the portfolio, sir. I first need to see the portfolio. How can I tell you how to study the intrinsic value? It's already there in our course. You can subscribe the course. We have already shared how to study the intrinsic value. About Reliance result, then I think Reliance is facing a big issue. Number one issue Reliance is facing that they already accumulate $27 billion from the international investors as far as the Geo is concerned. Well, $27 billion is definitely a very, very huge amount. And now Reliance need to deliver that. And I don't know till what extent they would be able to deliver, but to be honest, it is really tough for Reliance to deliver. Secondly, I'm not bullish on petroleum sector, which I have already defined to you that why I'm not bullish on the petroleum sector. Let it be honest and straight. Third thing that after Reliance Retail, people were expecting a lot of deals in retail, but unfortunately these deals are not coming for Reliance. I don't know, maybe in another week or so there are deals planned, but having a profitable retail business, at least in India, and especially when you have Amazon, Flipkart, Paytm, and many players in the market, is really a tough job, to be honest. So I think it's a big challenge taken by Reliance to make Reliance Retail a profitable business. And especially by the time Amazon is there in the country, and Amazon is having huge firepower. Reliance, which was around 1800, reached to 2020 and then back to around 1950 today. God knows, day after tomorrow when the market open, they once again back to closer to 1900. But I'm not bullish on Reliance, but I was, to be very honest. I was bullish on Reliance, but I am not bullish on Reliance anymore. I don't know. There are many stocks for budget 2021. I understand that the media is giving hype to many stocks, but we don't share our stocks in public domain because people take it otherwise. We have huge quantity count of people, those who do not understand market, they just said they are thankless people. Because of the thankless attitude, we have stopped sharing our stocks in the public domain. But yes, To me, there are two to three stocks in budget 2021. Let's see. First of all, we really need to see how budget 2021 look likes, to be honest, on three fronts: fiscal deficit, disinvestment, and government borrowings. My focus is that, let to be very honest, my focus is, and I don't expect the government to cut the tax slabs and all. I don't think, sir, that government is really in a position to cut the tax slabs, and that is what. Yes, two or three questions more, and then we wind up for the day. There is no data of that. In India, the biggest problem is the data. You first of all, for 99% people, ETF, sorry, FDI, FPI, FI, all are same. I'm sorry. They both are, all are different. The way they enter into the market, it is different. But for many people, it is the same thing. This is completely incorrect. There is no data which you are asking, and unfortunately finding the data of that in the Indian market is really impossible. Next, the credibility of the data is the most important thing that we need to understand, and I don't think that there is enough credibility of data we have in the market. That we really need to understand. Gold and silver I have already explained. You can refer. I see it to be range bound and highly volatile because of the US administration. Today, the geopolitical issue would definitely shape up, and it would be highly volatile. There are many factors, those who are sufficient enough to take gold to 2000 and so on and so forth. About view on crypto, that we're sharing only in our news desk. You can subscribe to the news desk. In our news and the crypto desk, we shared various news about the crypto. And by the way, crypto is having a lot of coins: Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and all. So which coin you are asking, I really don't know. I really do not know. So that is what it is, to be honest. With this, I would like to thank you very much. Just to let you know that the market is very volatile. God knows what would happen. We really do not know what would happen, how things would shape up, how the US work, how the US will not work, to be honest. But having said that, situation is little tricky, and we need to read the market very thoroughly, and that is the most important thing which we need to understand. And there is a big bump which is very soon coming to the Indian market. I hope it will not come, but I'm not Lord who can stop it. But if it comes, then this is yet another failure for Indian market, to be very honest. But I'm waiting for it. I hope that people will resolve this, but I'm not sure people are in a situation to resolve this or not. That is yet another problem. This is Rahul from Treasury Consulting. Our number 9899242978. Our video trainings, audio trainings, and a lot of products. You can definitely WhatsApp us. And I hope you like our latest videos, which is the edited videos which we are shooting. Thank you, sir, and have a great time ahead. Happy Republic Day. Jai Hind, and have a great time ahead. Thank you.